Hello and welcome to the Federal's ICC World Cup 2023 podcast. I am Aprameya. India's unbeaten run continues as they thrashed South Africa by 243 runs thanks to Virat Kohli's record equaling 49th ODI ton and Ravindra Jadeja's five-wicket haul on Sunday, November 5th in Kolkata. To discuss India's 8th win in a row, senior cricket writer R Kaushik joins us from Eden Gardens. Thanks Kaushik for talking to the Federal.
Hi, so nice to be back.
Kaushik, first up, your thoughts on the historic moment, what you witnessed at Kolkata's Eden Gardens, Virat Kohli equaling the great man Sachin Tendulkar's tally of 49 ODI hundreds.
Yes, of course, it is almost as if this was preordained. If you look at it earlier in the tournament, we got out in the 90s once in Dharamshala against New Zealand, and in the last match we got out in the 80s. So it was as if the 4900 had to come at an iconic venue. It had to come on his 35th birthday. The stage was set. And unlike Sachin's 4900, which eventually became his 100th international 100, which took a long time in coming, Kohli has only taken about 2 weeks between his 4800 and his 4900. This was a very important innings, obviously for Virat Kohli because of the history and the record equaling performance that is associated with it. But it was also extremely important from the team's perspective because of the conditions in which the match was played. There might be some suggestions that Kohli batted slowly and he batted for his 100, but that was definitely not the case because the idea was for India to bat around Kohli. So if you saw the way Sayer batted, we saw the way Rahul tried to bat in the little time that he was there, and then Surya Kumar and Ravindra Jadeja. Their roles were to try and accelerate and push the rate of scoring and bat around Kohli so that there was one person, that one end is secure and then he score runs from the other end, which worked out just fine.
Right. Kaushik, of course, we can't compare different eras. Where do you put Kohli in the pantheon of great white ball cricket and red ball?
White ball cricket, of course, I mean, his numbers speak for themselves. We know what a great chaser he is. He's probably the best chaser in the history of white ball cricket in both the formats, 50 overs and 20 overs. Obviously, his test record is not anything to be ashamed of. In fact, he has to be very proud of the fact that he's got as many hundreds as he's got as the average that he has in the region of 50. I mean, he's just one of the all-time greats of the game. To be averaging 50 in all three international formats like he did for a really long time, playing so many games in the middle. He was a captain for a really long time. When you put all these things together, put his intensity, he doesn't approach any match as if it's an easy match, it's a light match, whether it's a practice game, whether it's a domestic game which he's not played in a long time. He's got the same intensity, and to be able to sustain that for this long, we are talking about a career that is now 15 years old. And to be able to do that at the international level for this long, I know he had this slump for 3 years when he didn't get 100, and we were wondering whether Kohli, the batsman, was a spent force, and he's come back in the last sort of 14 months, and he's been a totally different batsman, scoring runs, enjoying his cricket, and when it's required, he's one of the senior statesmen, but when it is not, then he becomes one of the boys. The way he orchestrates the crowd, the way he manipulates the crowd, it's just he's almost larger than life. Apu.
Right.
Do you compare him with other people? I don't think that's fair on either Kohli or the people that you compare him with. But he's a very, very special player, and we have to celebrate the fact that he's a special player and that he's from India.
And coming back to the match, you mentioned about conditions, and Kohli also said that it was a tricky pitch. And once India made 326 for 5, it was always going to be tough for South Africa, isn't it? And they were bundled out for 83. And the Indian bowling was again brilliant.
Yes, I think, but of course, if you look at it, we spoke about the conditions, and I think it's very important to make a mention of the start that is provided by Rohit Sharma.
Right.
As the captain, he's been brilliant throughout the tournament, and today he was very quick to understand and realize that the best time to bat was when the ball was new and hard, and he quickly sized up the fact that there was not much swing on offer for Marco Jansen and for Lungi and Gidi. And the assault that he launched on them in the first 5 overs when India made 61, from that, to recover from that is very difficult unless you get a clutch of wickets. And there was turn, you saw how Keshav Maharaj got Shubman Gill with his third delivery of the match, just a beautiful delivery. And therefore, it was important that you be realistic in assessing the conditions. This is not a 325 pitch by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
260 would probably have sufficed given the quality of India's bowling. But since India aimed for 260, 270, and they didn't overreach, they ended up getting 326. South Africa doesn't have the greatest reputation of being a good chasing side. We have seen them already losing to Netherlands in this tournament chasing. They barely managed to win against Pakistan by 1 wicket in Chennai. So 326 was way beyond South Africa, way beyond any side in these conditions against the quality of the attack that India possesses. So at the interval, at the halfway mark, it was getting up a foregone conclusion. Of course, nobody thought that South Africa will capitulate so abjectly, because this is the top of the table class. South Africa came into this match with 6 wins in 7 games. They were expected to run India close, but this was just ridiculously one-sided.
And how was Jadeja's bowling? 5 for 33 in 9 overs with 1 maiden.
Yeah, I mean, Jadeja is one of the stars for India during this campaign. He's one of those guys who's quietly gone about his business. Before this match, his economy was second only to Jasprit Bumrah among bowlers who bowled 15 plus overs in the tournament. He's got wickets leading up to this game as well. But because the glory spotlight has been trained on the Bumrahs and the Shamis and the Sirajas when it comes to the bowling, and to the Rohit Sharmas and the Shreyas Iyers and the Virat Kohlis when it comes to batting, Jadeja sort of flown under the radar. That's something that I asked Rahul Dravid yesterday at the press conference about Jadeja's role, and Rahul said that yes, he has been one of the key performers, but he's sort of gone under the radar because these are very useful performances, but they are not standout performances until you come to today, when he came up with this brilliant 5-wicket haul. That's big figures for him in one-day cricket. And I think for somebody who's given his heart and soul every time he's walked out onto the field, be it with the bat, be it with the ball, be it on the park where he's such a live wire, he's India's best fielder, perhaps arguably the greatest fielder in the world currently. And for him to have his moment under the sun, to have the 5-wicket haul, I think it's very, very well deserved.
And with India confirmed to top the table and playing the first semi-final, what are the India's chances? I don't want to go too far. It's just semi-final and final for India, and the Indian team won't be looking so far ahead because they have one more game to play next Sunday against Netherlands.
Yes, and at different stages in the last 2-3 games, different players and coaches have been asked about whether India has talked about going unbeaten throughout the tournament, like West Indies did in 75 and 79, or whether Australia did in 2003 and 2007. And everybody that has come and spoken and has been asked this question has said that we are taking it one match at a time. We are not thinking about the semi-final, we are not thinking about the final, we are thinking about the match that we have to play today. And while on the face of it might look the most logical and prudent approach, sometimes in the heat of battle you forget the common things, the simple things, and you complicate things. But then when you have a sane head like Rahul Dravid as the head coach, and you have Rohit Sharma who's very equanimous and who doesn't get carried away, then you know that these are not just utterances for the sake of impact or just for public consumption. This is exactly what the team believes, that there is one game to play today, let us approach this game, and then let's go and see what the next game is. And the other thing that is remarkable about this team, again, which might appear simple, but sometimes, like I said, the simple things escape us, is that most of their focus is internal. When they are playing any opposition, yes, they do their homework and they know what to do with certain players and how to attack them and which bowlers to go after. But a lot of their work is on being the best versions of themselves on the field, because the Indian team believes that if they play to their potential, there is no side in the competition that can stop them. And on the basis of what we have seen in this tournament so far, that is a very, very fair and justified assessment.
Thanks, Kaushik. Hope Indian fans and all the supporters of the Indian cricket team will be hoping that they can go all the way to the title.
Yeah, we have a week before the next game against Netherlands in Bangalore to savor what happened tonight. It is a special night. There were close to 70,000 people at Eden Gardens, and when you come out of the press box and you just walk a few steps down and you are amongst the fans, and therefore the energy and the buzz and the electricity that you can feel is amazing. And I think the Eden crowd can be very proud of the performance that it put up today as well in backing the Indian team. And yeah, so next over to Bangalore then, and then let's see what the knockouts have in store.
Thank you, Coach.